Hi, my name is Angus, and this is my take-home midterm assignment. For question one, sports marketing involves the systematic collecting and analyzing of data to improve decisions we make throughout the marketing process. When we examine the external marketing for Niagara sports teams, six major forces stand out. First is the physical and geographic environment. Niagara's identity as a tourism destination shapes its sport opportunities. Teams and events can leverage attraction like the falls and local wineries to package, for sports for visitors. Secondly, there's economic and tourism factors. Local spending on tourism can strongly influence on attendance. A surge in overnight visitors might mean higher ticket and concession revenues, which is why partnerships with hotels, wineries, and other tourist destinations are very important. Third, the competition and market structure of the area. Niagara faces competition from nearby cities like Toronto and Buffalo, forcing local teams to differentiate themselves. This can focus more on community and affordability and other ways to distinguish themselves from teams like the Leafs or the Bills or the Sabres. Fourth, there are socio-cultural and demographic trends. Family structures, cultural identity, and generational fandom affect attendance patterns. Community-driven programming like youth clinics, family games, they help maintain a strong local engagement in the area for Niagara sports teams. Fifth is technological change with the rise of digital ticketing and streaming and online blogs and stuff like that that will tell you the results of sports and how they went. Fans have more at-home viewing and options and analysis options to compete. Local teams must enhance the in-person experience through having spaces like fan zones, and social spaces, similar to what the Blue Jays have done with the new renovations of the Rogers Center. And finally, the regulatory and legal environment, municipal events, rules, and sponsorship restrictions, especially around gambling, alcohol, and cannabis, all of which have significant market in the Niagara region, affect the activation and partnership opportunities that Niagara sports teams can have. Altogether, these external forces determine how Niagara teams design their marketing strategies. For question two, there are three primary levels of fan identification. First, there is the casual spectator. They occasionally they attends occasionally for sports events with limited emotional attachment. Teams often target these fans through one-off promotions, giveaway, or discounted tickets to encourage repeat visits. Second is the regular fan or the moderate. They show moderate commitment, following the team closely and purchasing some merchandise. To deepen their loyalty, organizations invest or should invest in enhanced social spaces and consistent communication to sustain that environment. And thirdly, they're the committed or die-hard fans. They strongly identify with their team. They are from generational families generally who've cheered for the team for years and years. These fans express high loyalty in their purchasing behavior, and many teams strengthen this group through family programs, alumni events, and fan recognition initiatives, as well as some events offering like cheaper seats for like the intense fans, like what you see in like the Bundesliga and other leagues like that. An example of a team going this way and try to increase it is the Blue Jays. They have things like the Family Weekend Series, the Run the Bases events, themed night giveaways, to make the ballpark experience more accessible and more memorable for families to try to increase them from maybe like a casual spectator to a moderate or from a moderate to a diehard. For question three, although sport and entertainment share global diversion and play, although excuse me, let me start again. Although sport and entertainment share the goal of diversion and pleasure, sports differs in several unique ways. Firstly, sport is produced and consumed simultaneously, unlike a movie or play that has a fixed script and a fixed runtime, and the outcome unfolds live with sports, making every event distinct. Secondly, there's the uncertainty of outcome. Fans are drawn to the unpredictable drama of competition, which is central to sports entertainment value. Third, sport creates a deep identity with and emotional attachment. Fans don't just enjoy a team, they identify with it. Their chants emphasize we, demonstrating a collective identity, not just like I like that character. It's like we're a community here. Fourth, sports foster community and tribal connection, as we were just kind of talking about. Rituals like team chants, jerseys, stadium traditions generate belonging, rarely seen in other entertainment settings. Fifth, athletes themselves are part of the product. It's not like a movie where you like a character, you like the individual athletes and what they do for the team and who they are. This introduces a risk and there's variety. There's things like your favorite player can get injured and how does that affect your team? The public perception of the player can go up or down based on their on-field and off-field life. The mental status of everyone involved. Like, there's a lot of things from the athletes themselves I think is different than a lot of other forms of media. And finally, sports have huge merchandising and memorabilia culture, turning fandom into an ongoing economic relationship that is like life-spanning generally, rather than just like a cultural moment or like a couple weeks. There's a economic relationship between a sports organization and a fan, and the fan, and the family of the fan. For question 4, uh, a SWOT analysis stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and they help guide an organization's strategy based on what they show. Strengths are internal advantages, weaknesses are internal limitations, opportunities come from external possibilities for growth, while threats reflect external risks. For the Toronto Blue Jays heading into the 2025 playoffs and the 2026 season. Their strengths include that so far they have a very strong playoff performance. They have been offensively dominant over the Yankees and defensively sound. They have star players such as Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, if he can get healthy for the next round, let's hope, and Springer. They have role players such as Clement and Barsho and Barsho and Clement and Barger that are getting hot at the right time. If you look at what they've done against the Yankees, amazing. They have commitment to team defense all throughout the lineup. Like Jimenez is there just for his defense, and it's amazing. They've increased national attention. All of Canada is watching them go on this run. It's the furthest they've been in the playoffs since the Bautista team when they lost to the Kansas City, unfortunately, but they beat the Rangers, and that's what we remember, and the Orioles. And all of which will drive sponsorship and merchandise sales to the Jays. Some weaknesses they have is roster volatility, injuries to Jose Barrios, Bassett, Bo Bichette, the pitcher and the shortstop, different players. They sound kind of similar. That can be an issue going further in the playoffs, and also going to next year. Who knows how they're going to be, if they can recover from the injury. Who knows how they're going to be going forward. Their bullpen and pitching in general has been kind of hot and cold. They had really good games, like a game 4 against the Yankees, and compare it to game 3, they're kind of up and down. Pricing pressure from resale tickets during the playoffs can mess up demands and can alienate fans who don't have the economic ability to go watch their favorite team, which can lead to a negative experience at the game because a lot of people there don't actually care. They're on their phones because of the fans that can actually afford to go, not the fans who want to go. They also have recent playoff failures the last couple of years, like blowing huge leads. Going into next year, they have a lot of roster uncertainties, many players, good and bad, like Bo Bichette, and a lot of their pitching is unsigned, so that kind of will maybe mess up next year. Their opportunities are significant. Playoff visibility allows them to grow their fan base, sell new season packages, more merchandise, more premium sponsors heading into 2026. And if they do well and they continue to perform, it can eliminate the reputation as a choking team in the playoffs, and that's a big opportunity for them to kind of shed that label. Their threats include an unpredictable injuries. It's sports; it can happen to anyone. We've already had a lot of injuries that's been threats. They have rising ticket prices due to the increased demand that kind of pricing out certain fans. Competition from other Toronto sports teams starting up, like basketball and hockey, are starting to come in. Now that's going to be a huge draw, but it's a threat. And sustaining their success requires careful market planning and roster planning to make sure they can maintain this level of success. Because if they start to be bad again next year, if they have a great year this year, they're gonna see their threat kind of go down. That's my thing for 4. Taking off the hat. Thank you. For question 5. What makes sports unique? Sports stand apart from other industries in 5 fundamental ways. First, it inspires deep emotional loyalty. Fans form identities around the team, something rarely seen in other products. Second, it's produced and consumed in real time. There's no second take, which heightens the excitement and unpredictability. Third, there's uncertainty of outcome. This creates natural drama and demands of competitive balance for entertainment value. Fourth, it features highly inelastic demand. Fans rarely switch allegiances, even when teams perform poorly, giving sport exceptional brand loyalty. If you like a band and your band releases a terrible album, you might be like, I'm not listening to them anymore, or I'm not listening to any of their future stuff. The Jays have a bad year, the Leafs have a bad year, their fans are right back there the next year, generally, not all of them. Going on to thing 6, the pink it and shrink it question. Historically, teams have marketed to women through a pink it and shrink it approach, offering smaller, pink versions of men's merchandise. Modern sports marketing is trying to move beyond this. First, most organizations now offer authentic, performance-based women's apparel in proper sizing and quality. They design products with respect for women more as fans and consumers than just as like, oh, your boyfriend likes the Jays, like here you go. Um, Second, teams increasingly create inclusive fan experiences, family-friendly schedules, so games that will start a little earlier if you have younger kids, or more like ability to get up and leave, like there's something you have to head home for something. Community programs and safe social spaces at arenas have helped make sports more accessible to everyone, but especially to women. Third, many women's league there have been an explosion of women's leagues recently. Look at the PWHL or the WNBA. They're really highlighting female athletes and their stories and marketing and promoting, and they're creating role models that young women can connect to and their female audience. There's still a lot of work to do. Teams really should improve sign ranges. There's a lot of women of specific body types that are not really being included in this. They need to ensure balanced representation in ad campaigns. They must aim to end gender-based discrimination and hateful speech in their arena and online if they can. And this can hopefully lead to integrating women as equal fans and not just as like a secondary source of fans. For question 7, sport marketers divide their audience using several key bases for segmentation. You have geographic segmentation. This divides fans by city or region, climate to tailor the marketing to local needs and identities. Example, the Niagara Ice Dogs. They market more heavily to the Niagara community, using local partnerships and community events, focusing on local pride and accessibility rather than appealing to disparate international audiences. You see that for a lot of OHL teams in general. You have demographic segmentation, targets consumers based on measurable statistics like age, gender, and income. Example, the Toronto Blue Jays offer youth tickets and family discounts for kids under 14, while also creating women's merchandise that actually fit them properly and offer luxury suites for higher income fans. Um, sorry. Your psychographic segmentation focuses on lifestyle, personality, interests, and values, identifying what motivates fans beyond typical demographics. Example, you have Peloton Sports marketing campaign, which targets fitness enthusiasts who value community, wellness, and achievement, appealing to their active and aspirational lifestyles rather than just their age or gender. You have behavioral segmentation, groups fans by their loyalty engagement level, their purchasing behaviors. Example, the Toronto Maple Leafs rewards season ticket holders with exclusive events and early playoff access, where casual fans are targeted single game promotions or themed nights to increase engagement. You have benefit segmentation, which categorizes fans based on specific benefits or experiences they seek, such as entertainment, social interaction, or prestige. Example, the Los Angeles Lakers, they use courtside VIP tickets for fans seeking exclusivity and status, while offering affordability upper deck families bundles for seeking a social, family-friendly atmosphere. You have usage rate or occasional segmentation, distinguishes between heavy, moderate, and light users, or focuses on special attendance occasions. Example, the NFL targets heavy users with season passes and fantasy football leagues, while light users are encouraged to attend special events like the Super Bowl viewing parties or holiday-themed games. For question 8, diversion for everyday lights motivates fans to attend games as a form of escape from routine and stress. The Toronto Raptors use this by creating engaging, entertainment-focused experience. In early 2025, the Raptors Fans Day lets family meet players like Scotty Barnes to enjoy a discounted food menu and music, offering a carefree communal break from everything. They also host cultural nights like Filipino and Caribbean Heritage Nights to celebrate Toronto's diversity. Finally, Scotiabank Arena has an upgraded fan experience program. They have fan assist, they have in-seat service, making games more comfortable and immersive. And for question 9, for my class reflection, my favorite part of this class has been exploring fan behavior and identity. I love the way that marketing kind of merges itself with fan behavior and how one can influence the other, and the other can also influence one. Like if a fan group is behaving differently, that can influence how you market it, and the way you market it can affect fan behavior. I enjoy the cross section there and why sports marketing actually matters in that case. My least favorite size has it's been a bit discouraging how some organizations still rely on one size fits all promotions and one size fits all marketing, like limited stuff that excludes portions of their fan base. Still, it's been engaging so far. That is my presentation. Thank you.